What is up, everyone? Welcome to another video. It's been a while. I think my last upload was 6 or 7 months ago. Um, yeah, it's been a while. And today we are doing a tier list. Also, like to clarify, I think I am gonna leave the Red Dead channel behind. Not abandon it. Think I'm gonna change it up. I'll mention Red Dead a couple times, but likely I'm gonna change profile and everything, so clarifying that. So we are doing the Forest and Sons of the Forest tier list on how difficult are the enemies. That is what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's get into it. So I think these guys, these two right here, I think these are the starving cannibals. Oh yeah, also I like clarify, spoilers. I would like to clarify that if you ever want to play The Forest or Sons of the Forest. This is going to be spoilers. So yeah, just like clarify that. And yeah. So yeah, the starving cannibals, they're at the very beginning of the game. It's like for the like first 2 days they're there. They are not a threat at all. I don't they're not. Like you spawn and you kill them. You pretty much just wipe them out. Yeah, so starving cannibals, they're not a threat at all. So yeah. Alright, so now we have the I forgot what you call this guy. He's like kind of like the chief kind of. So like out of all the cannibals, this guy scares me the most. But he is more of the difficult. I think I'm gonna put him up here because he's possible to die from, but he's also possible to live from. Not too easy, but not too hard. He's one of the guys that have like the CDs or the CD necklaces or the lights. These guys, okay, so this person or this Campbell, I don't know, is like you see them right after the weak cannibals or the starving cannibals. They are not bad. They're quite easy to kill as well. I'll say not really a threat, because it's like you can't really die from them unless there's like a big group of them. And yeah. Okay, so we have this guy, I think they're called the tennis ball cannibals. These two right here. They're this guy is like the melee version of the tennis ball dude. These guys, you don't see them as much. You see these guys a lot more, and these guys are a lot more painful. I'll put them in hard. They have pretty good health. They are not the easiest to kill, and yeah, they're just kind of a pain. Now we have the cave cannibal. Ooh, these guys, if you have good tools, you don't. They're easy to kill. Like if you have the katana, these guys are pretty easy to kill. They all only are dangerous if they're in groups of them in the caves. I'll probably put them in. Won't kill me, but will almost. I'll say not. I don't know. I think I'll put them in here. So they're kind of like the normal cannibals, but like probably just a little bit more difficult. Yeah. Now wearing face cannibals. These guys, so they're cannibals, but they wear people's faces. Yeah, that's not very nice. These guys are a pain. I'll put him up here. They are such a pain. Also, like to say, the T's are the forest, and the S's are sons of the forest. I like to clarify that. These guys are such a freaking pain. They have so much health. I don't know what it is. I feel like they have a lot of health. These are just a pain. I don't know. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments. I feel like these guys are just a pain to kill. They just have so much health, and they do such good damage. All right. Ooh, now we're at Armsy. This is the Forest Armsy. Um, I'll probably put them in hard. They're not that bad. Um, they're good. They do pretty good damage, which is yeah. Um, they do good damage for being an like mutant. These are pretty much the first mutants you see. You're probably gonna most likely see him first, and then see Virginia. And yeah, you're most likely this guy. He's pretty tough, but he's pretty good at getting the creepy armor and stuff. I'll probably put him here. Feels kind of crazy to put a cannibal higher than a mutant. Virginia, they're kind of rare. They're not really. You won't see them all the time when mutants come. Oh, this is the forest, Virginia. Just to clarify that. They're pretty much Armsy but different attacks. I would feel like they're a little bit harder than Armsy because of some of the attacks. That's because like the jumping attack and stuff. But yeah, I'd say just a little bit harder. I feel like they have the same amount of health. All right. Now we have the rare blue variants. Are these guys rare? I feel like I don't see them much. The blue Armsy, I'm just gonna call them blue. I don't know their actual names. Blue Armsy does some good damage, and yeah, good damage. You see these guys in caves, and yeah, um, they're they're strong. They do a ton of damage. I'll probably put them up here. They're pretty strong. They're just a little bit stronger than Armsy, the normal Armsy, and probably just a little, not a little bit more health. I think that's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, now we have the blue variant of Virginia. Pretty much the same thing as blue Armsy. It's just Virginia with more health and more damage. Yeah. Cowman. Cowman is a pain. Um, okay, big spoilers here. When you get into the sinkhole and you see these two guys, it took me like 4 tries to take them both out on like hard difficulty. I think, yeah, hard difficulty. Dude, they're just such a freaking pain. I'm gonna put them in up here because it's their running attack. Now, here is a strategy if you're going to the sinkhole and fight them. I recommend try getting just one of their attention and try throwing the weak spear at them and then try doing it to the other once you kill them. And if you lose your weak spears, use the katana. That's what I recommend. That's what I did to kill them. And yeah, these guys are just a pain. They do pretty good damage. Thank everyone that there is not a blue variant of Cowman. I just don't think there is. But just yeah, these guys are terrible. That's all I gotta say. Now we got the forest babies. These guys, it's like they don't have a lot of health. You kill them in one hit, but they are a pain. Uh, they're gonna put them up here, down here. They are such a pain because they do a lot of damage, and sometimes they're kind of hard to hit. And I just feel like they're just I don't like them. They're just annoying. But you don't see them very often. You really just see them in caves, so it's like it's not that big of a deal, but still. Now we got massive spoilers. But now we got Megan? Yeah, Megan. Megan is tough. Also, I don't see the girl mutant on here. If you don't know who that is, it's after you beat the game, pretty much a weaker version of Megan comes. I don't see her on here, sadly, so we'll just say wherever we're gonna put her. So Megan herself goes up here. She is tough to kill, and I would say girl mutant goes right here next to Blue Armsy. Megan is pretty tough. Um, it's like I would recommend killing her with the the gun or the bows. That's my recommendation. Because the gun takes 10 bullets to kill her, but the gun's like shooting range is terrible, so like you might miss like the whole time. And she drops babies, so it makes the boss fight even more hard. So yeah, oh, the worm. Exactly the same thing. Like just a pain to kill. It's like I don't know. I don't see him. I think I've only fought him one time. Just one time. They're hard. They're not easy at all. Um, they're pretty much almost impossible. They can either fly or crawl, and they drop like these worm flesh things. It looks like if you got like a hot dog and then mutated it. That's what it looks like. So yeah, it's annoying. I think they come like at day 40 or after you beat the game. Yeah. All right, the forest shark. To be honest, they're probably a pain, but I you don't really go in the ocean. You only really go in the ocean to either get the crossbow and the pages or to like go to the boat, but like you're most likely not going to get attacked. But in damage wise, I think I would put him like right here, but like since I don't see him often, I think I'd put him right here. I don't know. The boar. The boar, it's I don't know. They don't really do the much damage. They do a little bit of damage. You just gotta know what you're doing. They kind of run off, then come back at you. I'd probably say not really a threat at all. Yeah, there's not really much to say. They're pretty useful. Get the worm suit and um worm suit and spear pack or whatever it's called. Forgot what it's called. But yeah. The crocodiles I'd put up here. The crocodiles do some crazy damage. I think they have the most health out of all the animals in the forest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah. Alright, now we are on Sons of the Forest. So, yeah. This is nice. Alright. The mud cannibals. They're like the normal cannibals, but they're mud. I guess. I don't know the names of them. I don't know the names of most of the Sons of the Forest cannibals, so I'm just gonna call them what I think they're called. So yeah. Um. Yeah, they're basically. I'll put them right next to. They're basically the same thing, except they kind of just crawl away. They don't really attack you that much. To be honest, I would probably put them down here if it weren't for the when the days go on, they start wearing the meat suits or the creepy armor. That's what's saving them from going down here, pretty much. I can't really see that. Wait, what is that? Oh, this is okay, so these two are like kind of like after you kill the weak ones and then they start coming. You see these guys at villages? They're not the hardest, but when they start wearing armor, they start to get tough. These guys are pretty much the same thing, except this guy's melee, this guy throws spears. So, um, but I put him right here too. I think maybe right here for him, because the spears do get a little crazy. But yeah. All right, now we have these guys. They are like they come later into the game, and you don't really see them. I mean, you see them, but like they're not as common as like these two, these two right here. So like, yeah, I. But he is a little tough. He does do good damage, but I've probably put him right here. These guys are also in villages. I think they're also as strong as these. Most of the cannibals are kind of the same, or at least just these guys. The rest of the cannibals are definitely different. Yeah. This guy, I forgot his name. He's basically the cowman, but in a cannibal form. So think of the Cowman if he didn't get mutated, pretty much. He doesn't do as much damage as Cowman, if I remember, but he does do a little bit of good damage. But oh, this is kind of tough. I think I'd put him up here. He is tougher, but he's not that bad to kill. Like you can definitely take him out with like a spear or like a katana. Okay, these guys, they're a pain. They kill you pretty much. They're not fun. No. Ooh. Oh, the color variants. I was like, wait, what is this? Ooh, what is this? I personally think they're the same thing. They're just all the same. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. All right. These are like I don't know how would you explain like the bosses, the chiefs. I don't know what you call these guys, or like Gen Z says the alphas. You could say these guys are the betas. These guys are the alphas. They are not that bad. They could hurt Kelvin pretty bad if Kelvin doesn't hide. But he's they're not too bad. I would recommend not doing melee on them. I would recommend using like the bow or the pistol to kill these guys. They're kind of like a slow version of the cowman and this dude because they knock you down, but they walk, so they're not too bad. Do melee, you like walk up, walk back. I think I don't know. I think I'll put them up here because they do great damage. But I don't think, yeah, you don't really see them that often. You do see them at um villages a lot. You do see them sometimes at your base, but you're most likely going to see the normal cannibals. These guys, I don't know what you call these. The other alphas or the sigmas. Okay, I need to stop doing the Gen Z stuff. But these guys, um, they're basically these guys but run. So I'd probably put them up here. They pretty much do the same amount of damage, maybe just a little bit less than these guys. Um, wait. So, this is tough. Um, this is hard to say. Yeah, I'd probably put them up here. You see them a lot more. You're likely gonna find them in groups of cannibals or see them at a village. You're likely to see the female variant more though for some reason. At least on the like other side of the island. But that could just be me, I don't know. But yeah, they knock you down. I think they run. I can't remember if they do or not. Alright. Ooh, these are separate. So yeah, we got the outsider puffies. I'm calling them that. I just know they're puffies. You see these in like the very first caves. They're also the only puffies I think go to the surface, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. I do not know. They're not that bad. I'd probably put them up here because they have pretty good health. They're basically um the cave dudes, the cave cannibals, but they can't see pretty much. They do some great damage if you don't know what you're doing. And yeah. Now we got the like harder variants, basically the colored puffies, pretty much. They do I would say just a little bit more damage, so I'm gonna put them in front of them. Do a little bit more damage, a little bit more health, but basically the same as these. Then we get to the polka dot puffies. These guys are a pain. These people, you don't see them often. They're kind of rare, but they do some damage, and they have a lot of health. So I'll put them up here. But otherwise, they're literally just these guys with polka dots and a lot more health. And yeah. And so it's on the top of puffies. We're gonna do Mr. and Mrs. Puffy. I think that's their names. I'm gonna put him. Probably lost my arm. They're like a mini boss. Just kill them with the shotgun. And if you don't have ammo, use the gun. I don't know. But they're not that bad. They're not the worst. They're not the worst. That's all I gotta say. Um, so yeah, you see these guys near the end of the game. Spoilers again, but yeah. Okay, now we have forgot fingers. Yeah, fingers. I think these are like the second or possibly the first mutant you see. These guys, they're not that bad, but they do some damage, and they can hit you pretty good. So, this is tough. I think I'll put them in here. They're not that bad. They're basically like the very first Armsy, pretty much. Yeah. These are like like the third mutants you see. The third ever mutant you see, I'm pretty sure. Possibly second if you don't go in caves and kind of just camping in outside. Um, they don't do the most damage. I'll probably put them like right here, probably. They're not too bad. They're not too. I would say they're probably a little bit easier than fingers, in my opinion. But yeah. Okay, the new worm. I think this is they replaced this worm from the first game and turned him into like an actual like worm-looking dude. For some reason, the worm's also named John. Um, is that true? I don't know. That's what I heard. Um, they're kind of rare. Not really. Like you might see them like once or twice in like 50 days, or not 50 days, like 60 days, because I think they spawn around 40 or not round. Day 40. I think they do some good damage. I haven't seen them much. They do some good damage. I do know that. But yeah, these guys, they do not do damage to you at all. Before you say, oh my, how does that not do damage? Because they really just block out an entrance in a cave. They don't do anything. They're basically just stuck. They don't do anything at all. I don't think they do. So yeah, they're not really a threat at all. So yeah, these guys, actually, these could also be the third ever mutant you see. Kind of. I think they're actually first, and then the twins. These guys have some good health, and they do a lot of damage. And it seems like these guys like always go after Kelvin. Is it Kelvin or Calvin? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. They are kind of the pain. I'd probably put him up here because of the health and the damage. And yeah. Okay, Holy, I think. That's his name, right? Holy? Basically, Cowman again, but retextured. It's basically Cowman, but retextured. So I'm gonna put him up here. Yeah, um now he does a lot more damage than this guy. He's just Cowman. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. All right. Now we got Sons of the Forest Armsy and Sons of Forest Virginia. Now you don't see these guys until you beat the games. They're kind of like an Easter egg kind of thing. But they're basically just normal Armsy, except with more attacks. So I'd probably put them like ahead of the original Armsy, I think. Yeah, and then same thing for Virginia. Just they're basically the same, but like just new textures to them, more attacks and stuff. Now we got Sons of the Forest babies. Now, they're not as annoying as the first ones. I would say they're second annoying, not as annoying. But still, they can irritate you, but they're easier to kill, so that's why I'm putting them lower. Now we got demons. Now, demons are a pain if you don't have the cross. But if you have the cross, they are easy to kill. I don't know. The cross is extremely easy to get. Like, you can get in the first cave, I think. I think I'll put him, like, up here because of the damage they do. If you don't have the cross, they are a pain. So, yeah. Then we get the boss fight variant. This guy, in my opinion, is harder than the endgame boss. in my opinion. I think I'll put him right here. Um, he doesn't have the most attacks. It's hard to dodge his attacks. I think he only has like 3 attacks, I think. He's not that bad. It only took me like 2 tries to kill him. On the second try I killed him. Like, he's not that bad. But like, I would recommend like using bombs and stuff. Okay, now we got um the final boss. People said it was the extremely hard boss. In my opinion, he was really freaking easy. So I'm gonna put him right here. I'm gonna be nice. I'm feeling generous. I'll put him in hard. He is extremely easy. Not extremely, like, his attacks will get you if you don't have good armor. But, like, at the end of the day, just use bombs and your guns. Like, he's not that hard to kill. A lot of people said he was hard to kill. And I could see him being hard in, like, hard survival and hard mode. But, like, in normal, he's easy. Sons of the Forest Sharks. I go in the ocean a lot more in Sons of the Forest, so I'm going to put him up here. But then again, yeah, like, to get the pistol and stuff, you might, like, run into one. But, like, again, like, they're not that bad. So, yeah. Orcas, I have not seen. I do not remember. I didn't even know orcas were in the game. I'm going to put them not a threat at all. I'm guessing they're probably, like, up here. But, like, I've just never seen them, so I'm going to put them there. To be honest, it's an orca. So I'm going to put him, like, up here. Because it's an orca. It's a killer whale. The moose. The moose. They're kind of like one of those creatures, like, don't mess with them and they don't mess with you, pretty much. They do some damage, but they're easy to kill, so I'll probably just put them right here. And, yeah. Well, that is the Forest and Sons of the Forest tier list. I hope you enjoyed this. It's glad being back on YouTube, and I hope you all have a great day and subscribe, whatever other YouTubers say. Comment if you want to see me do more tier lists, and yeah. Alright, see ya.